Very, very, very anticipated episode right here. Let's get into it.
I hope everyone had a nice break, and welcome back.
And he's back from break. Perfect timing. The Jews must have planned it. Timing so perfect, the Jews planned it. Allegedly, in my opinion.
To the end of the world. So as you know, World War III has started.
No! Professor J! I literally just started saving money. Why? Why?
The United States and Israel have started to attack Iran. And we are now in the 4th day of this war. And we can expect this war to last for many weeks, possibly also for many years. But I promise you that after this war is done, the world will never be the same again. So what we will do these next few weeks is use game theory and understand and analyze the geopolitical situation. And so I'm going to teach you the ideas, the theories, the techniques to understand the world around you and make predictions. And we can know if our analysis is correct because all this is happening in real time, and so we can test it against reality.
Woo!
All right? So
It's about to be a banger.
let's go over some basic facts about what's happened so far. So in the early morning of Saturday in Tehran, the Israelis and Americans launched a decapitation strike against the Ayatollah Khamenei, who is the supreme leader
R.I.P.
of
Rest
Iran. Now, there are
Rest in peace, the supreme leader of Iran. R.I.P. Hey, your death will not go in vain.
arguments and disputes about as to what happened. The Americans and Israelis said that they had real intelligence.
So, Kaysan, these people, you're telling me these people are happy with the supreme leader's death? You're smoking dick. Just because you and your secular... Here, let me see if I'm using that right. Oh, shit. Have no religion. Yes, okay. Just because you and your secular family and people who are just secular to begin with do not like the supreme leader doesn't mean that everyone in Iran does not support the supreme leader. People are hurt by this. This person is crying. He's holding a picture of the supreme leader holding his heart, crying. And you're telling me they're happy that this is happening? Suck a big fat dick, Kaysan.
About where the leader was, and so they sent airplanes to just bomb the crap out of the place. They also had a spy who was able to record the body of the dead Ayatollah. And then this was announced. At first, the Iranians denied this, and the Iranians insisted he was still alive. But eventually, state media admitted that he did die in the airstrike. But then what they also said is that the Ayatollah, he's 86 years old, and he chose to die. He could have gone to Moscow, but instead he chose to stay in Tehran and die for his people. But not only that, but he died along many of his relatives. He died along with his daughter, his son-in-law, his grandchildren. So the entire,
oh my, that hurts, bro. That hurts. That's fucked.
Many of the family died in this assault. Also, there's been reporting that he had prostate cancer. Okay, so he was going to die fairly soon as well. So what you need to understand first about the war is that even though the Americans and the Israelis claim great success in decapitating the leadership of the Iranians, from the Iranian perspective, this is a martyrdom, okay?
Martyrdom.
And so the religion of the Iranians is called Shia,
Shia
Muslim.
Muslims.
And this is different from Sunni Muslim. So Sunnis are the majority. They're about 9% of all Muslims in the world. The Shia have always been the minority. And as such, they've always been persecuted. So in the Shia faith, the core value, the force that binds everyone together and gives them purpose and meaning in life, that galvanizes them into action, is the idea of martyrdom, which forces jihad. To sacrifice yourself for your religion, sacrifice yourself for the common good. So think of the death of Khamenei as a sacrifice, a self-sacrifice, in order to motivate the Iranians in this war, okay? So that's the first thing you need to understand.
Okay.
That
Understood.
for the Iranians, this is not a geopolitical war. This is not an economic war. This is not a war of resistance. This is a jihad. Okay? It's a war against the great Satan to avenge their leader. They will fight to the death.
Yes, sir.
All right? That's number one. Number two is this. Also that morning, when
Holy!
the Ayatollah was killed, the Israelis struck a school in the south of Tehran, killing about 150 school children. These are girls in primary school. And again, there's a lot of debate and argument as to what happened. The Israelis said that, first of all, the school was next to a military base. We were targeting the military base.
Man, pray these people, bro. Pray for these people.
And second of all, it wasn't us which struck the school. It was a air defense missile that went off course. Okay?
That shit don't be happening, Chad. Don't believe that shit.
And the Iranians insisted no. The Israelis purposefully attacked the school to kill the school children. And then you're like, why would the Israelis do that? But then these few years, well, we've seen what they've done in Gaza, in Palestine, to the Palestinians. And it's pretty consistent what the Israelis have been doing. All right? So this action against the Israelis, it's meant to show to themselves and the world that we are now all in. Okay? We've made the sacrifice. We are now committed to this war, to winning this war at all costs. And this action has also provoked the Iranian people to resist with their full might, okay? So I want you to keep this in mind. And again, we don't have complete evidence that it's the Israelis who did this, but given past actions from the Israelis, this is fairly consistent with what they've done. Okay? So we can assume that this is something the Israelis did. Why they did this, what the purpose is something we will discuss as we move on. Okay? It's very complicated. Next, I want to show you this. This is Dubai. And Dubai is considered one of the wealthiest, safest cities in the world. There are thousands, tens of thousands of Westerners who move to Dubai because it's clean, you don't pay any taxes, you make a lot of money, and there are great restaurants. And this is really the economic model of Dubai. It's one of the GCC countries, okay? The Gulf coastal countries. And for the longest time, Dubai
Thank you, MKNJ Bewey, for the follow.
had a really good deal because they were under the protection of the American military. So they didn't have to pay for defense. And then they were in the Middle East, which is the oil producing center of the world. And so they focus on aviation, they focus on logistics, they focus on finance, on tourism. They became extremely wealthy, right? I'm not sure if you've taken Emirates, one of the best airlines in the world. So their airport, Dubai Airport, is the busiest in the world. And Dubai, for the longest time, was flourishing under American protection. And Dubai said to the world, listen, we're like Switzerland. We're neutral. We don't want any involvement in any wars. We're here just to take care of our citizens, to make sure everyone has a good time, to make money. And then right after the war started, the Iranians attacked the GCC, okay? Dubai, Abu Dhabi.
Hey, Burden.
Bahrain, Qatar, Kuwait.
This guy's is so anti-West on God, is he?
They attacked these places. And these places were like, what's going on? We're neutral, man. We're not involved in this war. And the airport was shut down in Dubai. At one point,
Dude, I don't even think so. I think he's just like saying the truth for real. Like, I think he's actually just saying what's going on.
The rich people.
Dude was doing a podcast with Sneeko. Oh shit.
about 250,000 US dollars. Just get on a plane
I think predictive history. I think he be dropping facts. Not even gonna lie.
and get
I don't see him like, bro. It's like it's an undeniable fact that the West is going to shit. Like it's undeniable. It's undeniable.
out of there. Okay? So, the reality is this. For the longest time, Dubai had a reputation for being safe, and that's why people moved their money there. Guess what, guys? After what the Iranians did, it's dead. Dubai as a city, in the long term, it is dead. Because you're woke.
Yeah, bro. So the reason why people would go to Dubai is for safety. Like he was just saying, like people think as Dubai neutral. Dubai says they're neutral. People with the biggest amounts of money move to Dubai is dead my ass. Bro, bro, a lot of people, they're not going to move there cuz it's in the middle of the Middle East, bro. They're not. The people are going to stop moving there. I think so, bro. I think so. Bro, 10 missiles didn't do nothing.
Wealthy Westerner, you're not gonna move to a place where it could be attacked anytime.
Yeah, bro, but that's like now. Like you're not thinking. You got to think ahead, bro. You got to think ahead, and you got to think about like, okay, so one, this is fear mongering the people there. You know, they are at risk at being attacked. If you're Iran or if you're Israel, you're scared. Like, bro, you can get attacked by Iran. Like, you already saw it happen. It happened. Just because you got attacked once and it didn't do nothing doesn't mean it can't happen again, bro. This is that missile hitting or whatever hit. I think that was like a suicide plane. I'm not sure. A drone. I'm not sure what that was. But the fact that even led through, that's a show of power by them, bro. Not saying that that's a bad thing or that's a good thing, but do you think the oil sheiks are not going to fucking bulldoze the entire country of Iran? Is it happening? Is it happening? I don't think they want problems, bro. We gotta see. We just gotta see how it plays out. It's not happening. They're not doing that. So I don't know.
By the Iranians. You might move to Singapore. You might move to Hong Kong, Japan, South America.
Not gonna lie, bro. Hong Kong sounds like a better deal to me.
But you're not moving to Dubai, okay? So the big question for us is
Japan is also crazy. Do you think Trump is going to let that slide? Well, I guess he really hasn't been, you know? Like he's doing his best. If right now, bro, they're so like, bro, they're so cucked, bro. Everyone's so cucked. It's cause like America can't like impose their full power on Iran cause they don't want anyone else to get like involved, right? They don't want everyone else to get involved cause if they start dropping like nukes and shit, you know, then other countries are gonna start getting involved, and then that's gonna be the end of America, and then potentially the end of the world. There's so many factors to this war. It's insane, bro. It's insane.
Why did the Iranians do this? It was the Israelis and the Americans who attacked you.
Here, let's see why did the Iranians do this according to Professor Jang.
Why go after the GCC? All right? And not only that, but they're escalating.
Dubai is beautiful though. I would love to visit.
The attacks against the GCC. So this is something that we will look at very closely.
Wait, Verdon, is this oh no, you're a first time chatter. I thought you were someone else. Thank you, Verdon, for the follow. Thank you. Verdon, I thought so there's this other guy who came into my chat a while ago. I'm not sure if that's you. I don't think that's you because it says you're a first time chatter, but he was from like a little bit outside of Dubai. I wonder what he's doing
today. Well, the short answer is because these places, even though they pretend to be neutral, they house the American military.
Very true, very true. You can't be a neutral. You can't say you're neutral and then house the enemy. You can't. Because they're going to use you. You're going to get used. And then you're no longer neutral.
Allow the Israelis and the Americans to use their airspace to attack Iran from. All right? So this is Bahrain. Now, Bahrain is interesting, okay? Because I want you guys to remember this. But Bahrain will probably be one of the major centers of this conflict. Because, first of all, this is the American Fifth Fleet. All right? This is their naval base in the Middle East. And as you can see, the Iranians are attacking it with missiles. And it's being blown up. Bahrain is interesting because it has about 50% or even more, okay, Shia, which is the religion of the Iranians. But the people in charge are the Sunnis. And so what makes this strike really important from our perspective is, first of all, not only are the Iranians attacking US military assets, not only are they destroying the economies of the GCC, but they're also trying to ignite a religious war, right? Because you're Shia, you're loyal to the Ayatollah. And if he's dead, then you must, as a religious obligation, now commit jihad against your enemies.
Yeah, I was just thinking that too. That's fucked up. So now not only are they enemies with the US and with Israel, now they're fighting within their own religion, Shia against Sunnis.
And it's no different in other religions where, listen, if you want to kill the Pope, the Catholics would be really angry at you and they would want to kill you, right?
True.
So now you have the Shia who will probably eventually arise, creating a revolution in Bahrain, okay? So I think Bahrain will be the first to fall. Dubai will probably go bankrupt, okay? But in the long term, we can expect the entire GCC area, including Saudi Arabia, to eventually collapse, okay? And
yeah, I think Saudi Arabia also says they're neutral. I'm not too sure. But obviously they side any country that, I think that says they're neutral. No, I forgot. But yeah, Saudi Arabia, they side with Israel and with the US.
We'll use
they have to.
Game theory to understand. All right, let's continue. So, we will know how this war develops.
Damn, his mouth a little dry.
Just based on geography, okay? So this is a map. And this map, even if you don't really know the war, even if you don't know the participants, even if you don't know the weaponry, this map will tell you exactly how this war will progress. All right, so some certain things to keep in mind.
All these countries use petrodollars. All of them side with America. Yep, exactly.
About this map. This is what we call this area, okay? Really small, about it's
because they know if they don't side with America, it's wraps. Same thing that happened to Venezuela could happen to them.
23 kilometers wide, okay? People can swim across it. It's really, really narrow, okay? This small area, guys, it's called the Strait of Hormuz. All right?
Looks like Antarctica.
And it's important because it's really the center of the world. This one area is the nexus, the pivot of the world. Let me explain why. First of all, from the GCC, you have 20% of all the world's oil flowing through this narrow strait. Where does it go, guys? It goes to Asia, India, Pakistan, South Korea, China, Japan. India depends on 60% of its oil from this area. China depends on 40%. Japan, 75%.
Holy.
Prime Minister Takaichi of Japan has said that, listen, if the Strait of Hormuz closes, we will run out of oil in about 8-9 months. The entire Japanese economy would collapse in 8-9 months.
Didn't they close this shit? And doesn't Iran run this shit?
If the Strait of Hormuz were to close. And guess what? The Iranians have closed the Strait of Hormuz. Okay?
Damn.
So we can expect that the entire global economy will suffer greatly over the next few months. All right? So that's point number one. Point number two is, okay, so the GCC sends oil across the Strait of Hormuz, and what do they get back in return? Food, guys. All right, so people don't appreciate the GCC, but it is really the linchpin of the American empire. Because what is the American empire? The American empire is the petrodollar. All right? The idea of the petrodollar is this. The US dollar is worth nothing. It's only valuable if people want it.
Right.
But the GCC says that if you want oil from us, you have to pay us in US dollars. Okay? Then that is the basis of the value of the US dollar. So, if the GCC collapses, the American economy and the American empire both collapse at the same time. The problem, though, is the GCC is an artificial construct of empire. It does not exist naturally. Why? Because there's no food, there's no oil, no water. Okay, guys? No food, no water.
Really?
So these cities are able to grow in the millions because of all these petrodollars flowing in. If you close off the Strait of Hormuz, there's no food coming in. Right?
Ain't getting shit.
They're all gonna starve.
What? Wait, what?
How much food does the GCC get from overseas? 80%.
Damn.
80% of all the food it consumes.
Yeah, see, Vernon, why would you want to move to a country that can't even get food, bro? Do you see this? Do you hear this? Are you hearing this? You're not gonna want to move to a country who they can potentially just close the route, and then they're cooked out of food. You're not gonna want to live there.
Comes from overseas that it imports. It doesn't grow by itself. It imports. All right. So the Strait of Hormuz is really key. And again, the Iranians will close it in order to strangle the global economy and therefore bankrupt the American empire. All right. Second thing you will notice is these mountains. These mountains is what we call Iran. All right, this is Iran.
Oh!
This is GCC. Okay, this is not a fair matchup, right? Because these are mountains.
Yeah, them mountains. Yay, that Verdon. Them mountains looking dangerous.
And what can you do in mountains? Well, you can hide rocket bases. You can hide drone bases. You can hide missiles. And that's the entire Iranian.
Yo, why if the U.S. has such a problem in Israel, why don't they just nuke it, bro? You know what I'm saying? Just nuke that shit. If they have such a problem with it, nuke it. The answer is because they can't, bro.
Strategy. All right? From here, they can hide missiles and drones from which to attack the GCC.
Shit.
And what are they attacking? They're attacking three things, right? They're attacking American military bases.
Yeah.
American.
Yeah, because Iran can't hit America. America's way too far for them. So they gotta hit the next best thing, which is the bases. Why aren't I guess the bases, they are doing shit, right?
Military bases.
Yo, the videos of the fighter pilots ejecting from their planes and like walking getting confronted by the Iranians is kind of funny. They be hitting anybody.
That's number one. Okay. Is it possible for the Americans to defend against these attacks? The answer is no. They're not. It's not. It's the silliest thing in the world. You have all these bases in the Middle East, but you cannot defend them against the Iranians. That's kind of strange. Okay, but that's number one. Number two is oil and energy. How
do these people even know how to aim?
Hard is it to blow?
Who are you talking about? The Iranians or the Jews? Or the Americans?
An oil field with a drone. Not hard at all. Can you defend these oil fields? No, you cannot.
Damn.
Right? Number three, and this is most important, is water. Okay? You guys don't know this, but the GCC has little access to fresh water.
Yeah, bro. I think if you're Iranian, your main priority is pretty much like to defend and like try to create fear in your opponents, you know, so they'll get like scared and think about what they're doing, like, you know, double think what they're gonna do. But they've been getting actually, never mind. I was gonna say they've been doing the defending pretty well, but you know, obviously the school got hit and they killed the fucking supreme leader.
So the only way that it can produce water is what we call desalination plants, okay?
But shit, bro, Israel is not gonna be much better, dude. Israel is not gonna defend much better because I saw, who did I see? Who did I see talking about it? Someone was talking about the amount of money that it cost to run the Iron Dome, and like I don't know, but point is, it costs mad money to defend these attacks. And what they were saying, I wish I knew who it was. They were saying that the money, no, not the money, the amount of missiles that Iran has is nowhere near the amount of missiles that I think Israel has, or that America has.
These factories,
Like America has a power, but I'm pretty sure Iran has like the missiles.
take salt water and then through an electrochemical process turn it into fresh water.
I think it's a type of missile too. I think like the American missile and Jewish missile. Jewish missile sounds crazy. Just costs way more than what Iran is producing in defense.
For the population to use. 60% of the water supply in HEC comes from desalination plants, okay? 60%. Is it hard to blow up a desalination plant using a drone? The answer is, it's very easy. You understand? Okay? So you have this absurd situation where Iran is a mountain fortress, where it can hide its offensive capacity.
So wait, so what? Oh my god, bro, this is pissing me off. GCC countries. Let's see. Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, Saudi, and UAE. So it's kind of a warning shot for like the rest of these countries, you know. Like if you do something against us, you're gonna be fucked. I'm guessing these countries have like nothing compared to what Iran has. And I feel like the will of the Iranians is nowhere compared to the what is it called? What are they? Sunnis, to the Sunnis, because they're Shia, right? I'm not sure, but I got that confused.
The GCC, it's just this desert, this flat desert, and it is exposed to attack, and there's nothing it can do about it. Okay?
Damn.
So at any point in this war, the Iranians can choose to just destroy the entire GCC, and there's nothing that anyone can do about it. Okay? But Iran also has a weakness, okay? And this is fundamental. So Iran also has a water problem, okay? So for the longest time, they suffered a drought issue.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Okay, just climate change. And so
they got no water either.
The plan of the Israelis and Americans is destroy the water supply of the Iranians. Because the fortress, it is a mountain fortress, but it can also be a mountain prison as well, where people are trapped inside with no access to water. Okay, so what we're going to see right now, we're already seeing attacks on civilian infrastructure, hospitals. In the future, you'll see attacks on water supply, on dams, on reservoirs, on power plants. The point, the idea is to make Iran so inhabitable that the people will have to rebel against the people, or there'll be a refugee crisis in Iran. Okay? So as you can see from this map, this war, it is the end of the world. Okay? Both sides have the potential to destroy each other. And it's really a question of how far do they want to go. All right? We can also say this is almost a game of chicken. Okay?
Yeah, see, this is, from the beginning, this is what it seemed like to me. It just looked like a game of chicken.
We can blow each other up. How far do you want to go? And the problem is this. The problem is that the Iranians are Shia.
They're
which
down to
believes
die.
in martyrdom. And you've killed the religious leader, the Ayatollah Khamenei. So they're willing to go very, very far.
Oh, damn.
These countries are Muslim, but they're materialistic. They love money.
They
And
do,
also,
they do, they do. They love Dubai. They love gambling.
most of the population are expatriates, foreigners. 90% of Dubai
True.
are foreigners. Guess what's going to happen if they suffer? They're going to run away. Okay? So this is not a fair matchup.
You know what would be cool? If we had a Professor Jang, but like that covered the East, you know, the way that he covers the West. But he can't cover he can't cover the East because he'll get murked, you know?
The big question that people have is, first of all, are the Americans going to use ground troops? Because the only way that you can...
No. Yeah, the only way, I'm pretty sure he's about to say, the only way they can make a regime change is with ground troops. That's the only way. But considering the what do you call it? The fuck, whatever, topography, considering the topography or the landscape or territory or whatever. I forgot the word for it. But considering that, if you send ground troops, you're fucked. You can't, bro. They're all gonna die. And then it's like, why even put like innocent American lives in fucking danger? Well, I guess not innocent because they're troops, but you know.
Defeat Iran is by using ground troops, okay? That's a big question we'll look at over the next few weeks. Will America send its army, 500,000, 2 million soldiers to topple the government? Okay, that's question number one. Question number two, nuclear weapons.
It's a big question.
If you're losing a war,
do you guys think Iran has nuclear weapons? Apparently they don't, but apparently there was an earthquake yesterday in Iran. Supposedly they were testing nuclear weapons. If they do, I'm not surprised. I'm not mad at them. Because, you know, if Israel and all these other countries can have nuclear weapons, why can't they? You know, no country should be pushed around. You know, I think all countries should be treated like equal, you know, or fairly. It's kind of fucked up how they don't have one, you know, because then everyone can die. But you know, if they have a nuclear weapon, then it's like, bro, you really want to fuck with us? Like, we have a nuclear weapon, like we're gonna blow up your shit. And then it's like, you got to think about it. And then you can go the peaceful route, you know, try to work it out. But
would you choose to use nuclear weapons? Okay, that's another big question that we have, okay? Another big question that we have is who gets involved? Because this situation is so...
China, bro, yeah, this situation is so big. I think Russia doesn't want to get involved. But I see China getting involved. And that's when, though they're already involved. I think they're like already supplying them and shit.
Dire that Europe, okay, specifically Germany, France, and Britain are talking about entering this war. And guess what? If that happens, it is possible that Russia and China will also enter this war on the side of the Iranians. This is World War III, okay?
Oh my!
Because of the importance of the Strait of Hormuz, because of the importance of the Middle East, everyone has to get involved at some point. And we're going to use game theory to really try to understand what's happening on the ground and where this could lead us. Okay? All right. You guys understand? All right. All right. Let's continue. Okay, so again, there are American bases all over the Middle East. And originally, these bases were established to protect them from basically their own people, okay? These are monarchies that were imposed on these nations by the Anglo-American Empire, the British first, and then the Americans came to support these monarchies. And so they provide defense. But then you're like, wait a minute here. I mean, didn't we just say that these American bases can actually defend these people, that they're exposed? And the answer is yes, that's true. But remember, like the American military was built during the Cold War. Okay? And the Cold War was a war between the Soviet Union and America. And so the Cold War was defined as something called MAD, mutually assured destruction, because both had nuclear weapons, okay? So they didn't really go to war against each other. And so in other words, these bases aren't really meant to defend these nations from other enemies. They're really meant to impose American authority in the Middle East, okay? And it's the idea of this. It's the idea that empire, it is really a image. It is a hallucination. It's just an idea. Empire is it's an aura of invincibility and invisibility, okay? If you fear it, then you'll obey it. But it's not really designed to fight a war, okay? And so that's why we have this absurd situation. And because there are so many bases in the GCC, that gives the Iranians the perfect pretext to attack them in order to destroy the GCC economy, which will destroy the American empire, right? All right, so this is how the war is shaping out, okay? So the red is the Israelis and the Americans. The yellow are the Iranians. And as you can see, the Iranians are attacking everywhere, primarily Israel, okay? But also, as you can see, a lot of focus on Bahrain and Qatar. And again, the intention is to destabilize the economy and the government. Okay, it's to try to get as much instability as possible. Right? Okay, and as you can see, the Americans and Israelis are focused on
Iran.
Tehran.
Yeah.
And so the Americans and the Israelis use something we call shock and awe.
What is that?
And the very idea of shock and awe is you decapitate the enemy. If you cut off the head, the body will fall down, okay?
Ooh.
The problem, though, is, again, the Iranians see this as a religious war.
Yeah.
And so the Iranians have announced total war. Okay? And so what this means is that right now, command and control in Iran is decentralized.
You know what's insane? Like, all this stuff is going down, like, over there. And then over here in America, it's like nothing, you know? It's kind of crazy.
There's no one person telling everyone what to do. Every region has its own orders, has its own strategy. And so if you knock out Tehran, everyone else keeps on going. So if you take off the head, it doesn't change anything. Okay? But unfortunately, the Israelis and the Americans use this as a military doctrine. Military doctrine just means how you design your military for what purpose. And so even though the Americans seem like an invincible army, they are not equipped to fight a 21st century war against drones, against destabilization, against religious fanatics. Okay? They're just not. Right? But unfortunately, because of military doctrine, they're going to keep on attacking Tehran. Now, the great irony of all this is that the Iranians who would be most supportive of regime change, are actually in the cities because they are educated, they're progressive. The people who are most fundamentally against you, will fight you to the death, are religious fanatics, the Shia militants living in the rural areas. Okay?
Right.
So this is a really silly thing where you are actually destroying.
You're attacking. What the fuck? You're attacking the people that would help you. Oh my god.
Those who will most likely support you.
Dog.
And you're leaving alone those who are most likely to commit jihad against you.
Yeah, like, going back, I was talking about Kason earlier, bro. It's like Kason, like he was saying how he has people that, or he has family. He's Iranian, whatever. He's got family in Iran, and he was saying like people were happy. You know, people were happy that they took down the supreme leader, and it makes sense, you know, because if you're secular. Like, and if you feel like he's oppressing your people, right? If you're not like a devout Muslim, if you're not like a devout religious person, then of course you're gonna be happy that he died. You're gonna be happy that he died. But they're bombing that main place. You know, where the people. Damn, interesting.
Any questions so far, guys? Are you clear? All right. So another idea that I want you guys to.
I know every little boy and girl in those fucking desks are shitting their pants right now.
Understand is the idea of asymmetry. Asymmetry. All right. So what is asymmetry? Asymmetry means that the two sides are choosing to fight different wars using different techniques because one is much stronger than the other. Okay. America is a great empire. It has unlimited resources. It has the USD. It controls the world, right? Iran is a country that has been under economic sanctions for the past 45 years. It's poor. Its technology is very limited, okay? But as we learn in this class, actually, those nations that are poor actually have more energy. They're more open. And they're more cohesive. Right? So let me give you an example. This is what we call the Shahad drones. Shahad drones. Each of these drones costs $50,000 at most, okay?
So they're
at
cheap.
Most. It can go as cheap as $35,000 US.
So they're
but
cheap.
One of them is $50,000. As you can see, you can fit a lot of these drones to a truck that can go anywhere in Iran, and they can hide anywhere. All right. So the thing to understand is, first of all, these drones are cheap. They're easy to make. They make about 500 a day.
Holy.
Okay? And estimates are about there's 80,000 right now that the Iranians have.
80,000! Oh, bro, imagine a fleet of those just attack your country.
So they can go on for a long, long time.
I'm shitting myself.
Okay? And one of these drones, again, can knock out a desalination plant. It can knock out an oil field. It can knock out a hotel. It can do a lot of damage. Okay? And it's easily transportable.
I feel like it's like Honda versus BMW, you know? Like this is a good reliable missile. And then the US or Israeli missile, it's going to be like $10 million.
You can hide it anywhere. You can use it from anywhere, okay?
Fuck.
And that's what the Iranians are using as an offensive weapon. And how do the Americans defend against this? They use something called a FAD, right?
Let's see the FAD.
Right, guys. This is what they use. FAD.
Oh,
FAD stands for Thermal High Altitude Air Defense. And they also have like Patriot systems. There's a lot, okay? The thing that you need to know about the system is it's really expensive. This missile, guys,
$10 million.
$1 million.
Oh! That's a lot of money. That's a lot of dollars.
$1 million. So there's this $50,000 drone coming your way, and you throw a $1 million missile at it, okay? And often these missiles miss, so you have to throw 2 or 3 missiles at it, okay?
Yeah.
So you're spending $2 to $3 million on each $50,000 that the Iranians spend. That's kind of silly. Second thing you'll notice is that this thing is really big and really slow. And therefore, you can't really move it around. Therefore, it's pretty easy for the Iranians to spot where this is and attack it.
And it's like, think about it too, the reload rate on this shit is probably treacherous.
And then when these things blow up, that's a lot of money, guys. Okay? Then you're like, what? But this makes no sense. You know the Iranians have drones. They've had drones for like 10 years. You've also seen drones used in the Russia-Ukraine war to devastating effect. Why don't the Americans know this? Why did they prepare? Okay, and again, it has to do with military doctrine. Because military doctrine determines how you fight a war, it determines on your bureaucracy, and it determines how you spend your resources, okay? And unfortunately, the Americans are used to fighting something called the Cold War. Right? And the Cold War, because you can actually fight the war. You can actually use, kill each other because then people use nuclear weapons. The Cold War was about flexing.
Yo, imagine, oh my, when would you have thought Professor Jang would be talking about flexing, bro? Call him the fucking biggest flexer, yo. Oh my, fuck Lil O, it's Lil J.
Okay? You see how big and powerful I am?
Yeah.
Big! Okay?
Yeah.
That's all it was.
That's Lil J.
These weapon systems are designed to scare the crap out of you. They are designed to impress you. And as a result, they cost a lot of money, and they really don't do anything, all right?
Crazy.
So that's the entire American military. It costs a lot, and it doesn't
But
really
it's shit.
do anything. And it's not
Bro.
resilient. It's not innovative. It's not open. All right? Also, the other thing I have to say this, okay, is if you look at the American military, it's corrupt. So this is
Facts.
really about corruption. So the Americans don't really care about winning a war. What they care about is spending as much money as possible because then they get a cut. It doesn't make sense. All right? And that's why the Americans are in a situation as they are. All right, let's continue. All right. So something that people don't really talk about, but you need to understand, it's the water issue in the GCC, in the Middle East, in Iran. All right. So this is a map of the world, and if you are light blue, Brazil, Canada, you have nothing to worry about because you have a lot of water, a lot of fresh water, very little population. All right. So
So Mexico has no water. Oh yeah, we're fucked. We're fucked, chat. If you're Mexican, you're fucked.
100% just means 100% water stress just means that you drink as much water as the environment produces. Okay? So you want to be below 100% to be sustainable. Ideally, you want to be at 10%. Okay? If it goes above 100%, it means that you are drinking more water, using more water than the environment actually produces. Okay, so you're putting stress on the environment. So 20% is really bad, right? Because you're using twice as much water as the environment produces.
Damn, bro. Look
Guess
at
what,
the
guys?
numbers.
Look at the Middle East.
Look at
okay?
Saudi, Syria, Egypt, Sudan, Iran. Iran is at 72. Bahrain is at 3,000. Holy. So Iran, they're better at the water stress level than Iraq and all these countries.
Egypt, 6,420%.
Holy.
Saudi Arabia, 883%. All right? Bahrain, almost 4,000%. Dubai, 17,000%. All right? So water is a huge issue. Again, it doesn't matter if Iran kills American soldiers, destroys American military. It doesn't have to do that. All it has to do is destroy the desalination plants. And then the GCC is destroyed, okay? But it's also true that Iran has water issues. 72% is pretty bad.
Yeah,
Okay.
seems like it.
So even though the Iranians could
Look at Russia, 2%, beautiful. China, 27.
destroy
Australia, 3. Brazil, 1. Where should we move to, guys? Brazil, Canada, Russia, Australia, UK. Where should we go to, chat? Argentina, maybe?
the GCC much faster than the Americans could destroy Iran, Iran is still in trouble, okay? So let me give you an example of this. This is like, so this is another map that shows you the issue of water scarcity, okay? And it's just basically the Middle East, okay? Their biggest issue in the future is water, okay? And that's where the geopolitical tensions will arise in the future over water. India is also affected as well, okay? All right.
India's fucked.
All right, so let's look at the map, guys. This is called Lake Urmia in northern Iran. It's the 6th largest saltwater lake in the world, or it used to be. Okay, this is what it was in 1984. This is the shallow, this is the deep, okay? You guys see that?
Yeah.
It's really big, right?
Yep.
20 years later, guys, this is what it looks like. There's no more water here.
It's not existing.
You can walk from here over to there, okay? There's some water over here, but it's shallow now. That's how serious the water issue is in Iran. And that's the weak point that the Americans and Israelis will attack. All right? They want to make sure that Iran has no access to fresh water, which will cause devastation in their nation. Okay, that's strategy number one. Strategy number two is this. This is a map of the different ethnic minorities in Iran. As you can see, it's a very diverse place. In the center are the Persians, but you also have 10 other groups as well. And in the borderlands, it's basically a different country, right? Like, these are basically different countries. And so these places have more common areas with their neighbors than they do with Iran. Okay, so the second weakness of Iran. The first is the water. The second is the ethnic makeup of the country. So the strategy of the Americans and the Israelis moving forward is to destroy Iran as a coherent nation state, divided into ethnic enclaves, and have them fight over water. That is the grand plan of the Israelis and the Americans. Okay. All right. This is the vision where Persia is limited, and then all these other places are sponsored by the Americans and the Israelis. They're given money, they're given weapons, they're given political support, and then this war will wage over water forever. Okay? And this is how you destroy Iran and make sure Iran is no longer a viable threat to you. That is the plan of the Americans. Okay? As you can see, it's a pretty evil plan. And that's why they have not announced it. Right? Because if you announce it, you're like, why are you doing this? What did the Persians, what did the Iranians ever do to you to warrant you coming and destroying their civilization? And the answer is nothing. Right? So the Americans and Israelis will never admit they're doing this. But if you look at the map of water supply, of ethnic tensions, this is the optimal game theory strategy for them to use against Iran. Okay, does that make sense? This is a long-term plan that they have in place. And it's all moving towards this plan. But now the question then is, how can the Iranians respond to this? And the answer is this. This is a map of the Muslim world. Okay? So
But they're mostly Sunni, right? Are they gonna get them to unite? Are they gonna build one big Muslim army?
Light green are the Sunni people, okay? That's 90% of the entire Muslim population, about 2 billion people, okay? Then you have in dark green the Shia. So as you can see, the main place of the Shia is Iran, okay? Right. Iran is one of the few Shia nations in the world. But you can also see from this map that Shia are spread throughout the world, okay? And so the first thing that the Iranians want to do is create a jihad to unite all the Shia against the American empire. All right, so what they want to do is create an uprising. And it's already happening, guys. The Shia in Pakistan stormed the American embassy in Pakistan, and the Americans killed a lot of people, okay? The Shia have attacked the American embassy in Iraq. The American embassy are being attacked in a lot of places. Right? So the first strategy is to create an international global jihad of the Shia against the American empire. And it's already happening. It will continue for a long time because the Americans have
Shia Muslims. I do not support this war. I really do not support this war. I don't. I just want that to be. I want that to be known. I think you guys deserve your own country. I think we shouldn't be messing with you guys. So it's fucked up. It's fucked up. I do not support this.
Killed the Khamenei, okay, and that requires vengeance. The other thing, though, is that it can unify the Muslim world.
Oh,
Okay? If you look at this map,
yes.
most of the Muslim world is actually run by dictatorships that are not popular at all, okay? And they're allowed to exist because of the American Empire, right? You go to Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Algeria, these places, they're all run by clients of the American Empire, right? So if you rally the people who hate their governments and you overthrow them, then that makes Iran the leader of the Islamic world. Not just the Shia world, but the Islamic world. And this creates something called Pax Islamica.
Holy shit.
That is the end goal, guys. Okay? If you do that, then you don't have to worry about the Americans.
So now we know about Pax Judaica and Pax Islamica.
And the Israelis anymore. Right? So
Wait, what?
you don't have to worry about the Americans and the Israelis anymore.
True.
Right? So the Israeli game plan.
And that, bro, that doesn't seem like a bad shout at all, bro. Cause why are all these Middle Eastern countries like so against each other? Like, why aren't they as unified? You know, why aren't they as unified? That doesn't make sense to me.
The game plan is to fracture Iran into ethnic enclaves, and they'll fight over water for the rest of their lives, and they'll all die.
Yeah, bro. Instead of dividing them, just come together and, oh my God.
The Iranian game plan is to create a religious war, a crusade that unifies the Shia people, that overthrows the American Empire and establishes something called the Pax Islamica.
Oh
Right?
shit! Whoa, that's
All right.
crazy. Shout out Indonesia. I didn't realize they're all Muslim.
Again, the key is the GCC. All right? So the game plan is this. You have to destroy the GCC. Why? Because the GCC is the linchpin of the American Empire.
Oh.
So what the GCC does is this. It sells oil, and then for US dollars. Where does it put US dollars? It puts US dollars into the American stock market. All right? So this is investments of the UAE, okay, Saudi Arabia, and Kuwait into the U.S. financial markets. As you can see, from 2012 up to today, it's been exploding.
Yeah.
All right? Because the U.S. financial markets is one of the safest places where you can put your money. The intention is this. The intention is, hey, if I cut off oil, and these countries no longer have access to US dollars, they're forced to spend whatever resources they have on protecting themselves, okay?
Yeah.
And then guess what happens? The stock market collapses. The stock market collapses. The stock market is the real growth engine of the US economy. The entire US economy collapses with it.
True.
All right? There are about maybe 7 companies in America that accounts for about a quarter of stock market growth, okay? These 7 companies, of course, are AI companies. NVIDIA, Microsoft, Google, Apple, okay? These are the companies, and then these companies are heavily invested in by the GCC nations. So if these nations are no longer able to invest in the stock market, these companies will collapse in value. And with that, that would lead to economic depression in America.
Holy shit.
Okay, does that make sense? All right, so that is the situation for today. Today was just an overview, guys, okay? I know
Is that
we covered
everything?
a lot. I know there's a lot
Oh
to
my,
take
bro,
in.
that flew by.
But over the next few weeks, we will explore each issue in depth and really understand what's really going on, okay? All right.
Why is he blackpilling? Yo, no way, bro. Oh my, bro, I didn't know it was like that, dude. Oh, this added like so many more layers that I did not know about.
So any questions, guys? Any questions about what we've just learned? Okay.
Right, let's see what dumbass questions they're about to ask.
If other countries such as Italy, France, China, or Russia, they have also join this war? Like, what's the cause of they join the war? Because of oil or those resources?
Okay.
I don't know.
That's a great question, okay? So I don't want to spend too much time on this question because we will explore this question as we move along, okay? So the question is,
he got too much dip in his chip.
what brings the world into this conflict? And the easy answer is just oil access, energy access, okay? They need to protect their energy supplies. Because remember,
dude, isn't that, I forgot who said that, bro. I remember someone telling, or someone saying, or I watched or something. Someone was saying that the next world war is gonna be fought for water. Oh my god, I think water too. Water and oil. Oh my, yo, whoever said that, yo, they must have been from the future, because what the fuck.
it's a very complicated situation.
I think this has been known for like not ages, but like for years.
Europe is
Because there's only so much oil. You can only get so much oil, bro.
now fighting Russia. So Europe is not buying any oil resources, energy resources from Russia. Therefore, it depends a lot on the GCC. So the GCC is not providing them energy, then the Europe would go bankrupt. Okay?
This salination is a sole problem. No civilized country is going to fight over water.
So Europe needs to enter this war on behalf of the Americans. Okay? And then you have Russia, which cannot allow Iran to fall.
Oh, my armpit
because
hurt. What
if
the
Iran
fuck?
falls,
Am I
then
dying?
they'll come after Russia next. All right? China is actually neutral. China's okay with either scenario.
Oh.
But that's just the way that the Chinese system is set up. Okay? So we're gonna explore this question as we move along.
Oh, China don't care? Why China don't care? China don't care why?
But it's a very complicated issue. All right? Okay? And each nation will have its own different strategic interests to consider. Right? And what we need to know, what we need to figure out is that this war in the Middle East is actually connected to the Ukraine war. And then as we move along, I'll show you how these two things connect together. Okay? Any other questions, guys? Okay, great. So we'll continue this discussion on Thursday, okay?
Damn, guys. W Professor Jang, bro. W Professor Jang. That was a good ass video. That was a solid ass video. Explained a lot. He's really good at explaining this game theory shit, bro. It's not just a coincidence that he predicted that this shit was gonna go on soon. How Iran's leader was killed. Ooh. W video though, guys. Chat. Go check out Predictive History. Good video. Good, very informative. Damn.